What you're about to hear is going to make your blood boil. Triple H just crossed a line that no one saw coming, and the entire WWE universe is in absolute chaos right now. John Cena's farewell? Ruined. Gunther's career? Destroyed. And backstage? Complete pandemonium. If you're not furious by the end of this video, you're not paying attention. Let's get into this absolute disaster. Picture this. Madison Square Garden. The lights are dimmed. 20,000 fans are on their feet with tears in their eyes. John Cena, the man who carried WWE on his shoulders for 2 decades, is standing in the middle of that ring for the last time ever. His final match, his swan song, the moment we've all been dreading since he announced his retirement tour. And who does he face? Gunther, the Ring General, the most dominant intercontinental champion in modern history, a warrior who respects the business, who honors tradition, who fights with honor and dignity. The match? An absolute classic. 37 minutes of pure wrestling perfection, back and forth action, near falls that had us jumping out of our seats, Cena hitting the attitude adjustment, Gunther countering with brutal chops that echoed through the arena. This wasn't just a match, this was art. And then it happened. Gunther hits the powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. Gunther defeats John Cena in his final WWE match. The crowd is stunned, not angry, but respectful, because this is wrestling. Someone has to win, someone has to lose, and on this night, the better man won. Gunther stands tall, helps Cena to his feet, and the two warriors embrace in a moment of pure respect. Cena raises Gunther's hand. The torch has been passed. The arena erupts in appreciation. This is how it should end, right? A perfect farewell, a new era beginning. But no, because Triple H had other plans. Within minutes of that match ending, before Cena can even leave the ring, before the celebration can truly begin, Triple H's music hits. The Game, the cerebral assassin, the chief content officer of WWE, storms down that ramp with a microphone in hand and rage in his eyes. And what does he do? He gets in that ring, gets in Gunther's face, and announces that effective immediately, Gunther is suspended indefinitely for conduct detrimental to WWE. Wait, what? Let me repeat that because I'm still trying to process this absolute insanity. Gunther just had the match of the year with John Cena. He showed nothing but respect. He wrestled clean. No low blows, no chair shots, no interference, just pure, technical, hard-hitting wrestling, the way it should be done. And Triple H suspends him? The crowd went from celebrating to booing out of their minds, and rightfully so, because what we just witnessed wasn't justice. It wasn't protecting the business, it was a disgrace. Triple H's reasoning? Get this. He claimed that Gunther showed disrespect to a WWE legend by defeating John Cena in his final match. He said that Gunther should have known better to go for the pin, that he should have done the right thing and let Cena win his final match. I'm sorry, what? So let me get this straight. Triple H, the same man who built his career on being a cutthroat competitor, the same man who buried countless superstars to stay on top, the same man who literally married into the McMahon family to secure his position, is now telling us that Gunther should have laid down for John Cena? This is professional wrestling. This isn't a scripted play where everyone gets a happy ending. These are competitors. These are athletes who train their entire lives to be the best. And you want to punish someone for winning? The hypocrisy is staggering. But here's where it gets even more infuriating, because this suspension wasn't just announced in the ring. Oh no, Triple H made sure to humiliate Gunther in every way possible. Backstage reports are flooding in, and what we're hearing is absolutely sickening. According to multiple sources inside WWE, Triple H called an emergency meeting with all the superstars immediately after the show, and in that meeting, he made an example out of Gunther. He told the entire locker room that this is what happens when you don't respect the business. He said that Gunther's ego got in the way of giving John Cena the send-off he deserved. He warned everyone that if they ever put their own success above the good of WWE, they'd face the same consequences. Can you believe this? Gunther, the most professional wrestler on the entire roster, is being painted as a villain for doing his job, for going out there and delivering an instant classic, for respecting John Cena enough to give him a real match instead of some scripted garbage where the outcome was predetermined. And you know what the worst part is? John Cena himself is furious about this decision. Multiple sources confirm that Cena went straight to Triple H's office after the suspension was announced and demanded it be reversed. Cena reportedly said, and I quote, "This is not what I wanted. Gunther earns that win. He gave me the greatest final match I could have asked for." But did Triple H listen? Of course not, because this isn't about John Cena. This isn't about respect. This isn't about the business. This is about control. This is about Triple H sending a message that he's in charge and anyone who doesn't play by his rules will be punished, even if they're one of the best wrestlers in the world, even if they did absolutely nothing wrong. Now, let's talk about what this really means for WWE moving forward, because this suspension sets a dangerous precedent. Think about it. If Gunther can be suspended for winning a match fair and square, then what's stopping Triple H from suspending anyone else who doesn't follow his exact vision? What happens when Cody Rhodes doesn't want to drop the title when Triple H tells him to? What happens when Rhea Ripley refuses to put over someone she doesn't think is ready? What happens when the superstars start making their own decisions instead of being puppets? This is the beginning of a new regime in WWE, not one built on competition and merit, but one built on obedience and politics. And here's the thing that makes me absolutely sick. Gunther doesn't deserve this. Look at his rock tack. This man held the Intercontinental title for 666 days. He elevated that title to a level we haven't seen in decades. He had instant classics with everyone from Sheamus to Drew McIntyre to Zayn. He brought legitimacy and prestige back to WWE. This man is the future of WWE, or at least he was before Triple H decided to sabotage his momentum. And for what? Because John Cena's final match didn't end the way Triple H wanted it to? Because the real competitive nature of wrestling got in the way of some fantasy booking? The WWE universe is split right now. Social media is on fire. Hashtags like Free Gunther and Triple H is wrong are trending worldwide. Fans are threatening to cancel their Peacock subscriptions. Some are even organizing protests outside WWE headquarters. This isn't just a controversial decision. This is a crisis. So where do we go from here? What happens to Gunther? What happens to WWE? Well, there are a few possibilities, and none of them are good for Triple H. Option 1, Triple H doubles down on this decision, keeps Gunther suspended, and completely destroys one of his biggest stars out of pure ego. This would be a disaster, not just for Gunther, but for WWE as a whole. Because if your best wrestlers know they can be punished for being too good, why would they give their all? Option 2, Triple H eventually reverses the suspension after massive backlash, but the damage is already done. Gunther's momentum is killed, the fans have lost trust in management, and Triple H looks weak for caving to pressure. Option 3, and this is the one I think is most likely, is that this entire situation escalates into a full-blown storyline where Gunther returns even more dangerous than before. Maybe he aligns with other suspended or disgruntled superstars. Maybe he forms a faction dedicated to taking down Triple H's regime. Maybe this becomes the catalyst for the next major WWE angle. But here's what should happen. Triple H should apologize. He should admit he made a mistake in the heat of the moment. He should reinstate Gunther immediately and give him the push he deserves as the man who defeated John Cena in his final match. That would be the right thing to do. But we all know Triple H's ego is too big for that. Look, I've been covering WWE for years on this channel, and I've seen a lot of controversial decisions. I've seen a lot of questionable booking, but this might be the worst decision I've ever seen Triple H make. You don't punish excellence. You don't punish someone for being a great wrestler. You don't punish someone for doing exactly what they're supposed to do in a competitive environment. John Cena got the send-off he deserved, a real match against a real competitor who pushed him to his absolute limits. That's respect. That's honor. That's wrestling. What happened after? That was politics. That was ego. That was everything wrong with this business. Gunther deserves better. John Cena deserves better. And most importantly, we as fans deserve better than watching one of the greatest wrestlers in the world get buried because he was too good at his job. The WWE Universe is watching Triple H, and we're not happy. All right, WrestleScope family, I want to hear from you. Do you think Triple H was right to suspend Gunther, or is this the biggest injustice in WWE history? Drop your comments down below and let's get a conversation going. I have a feeling this comment section is about to get heated. If this video made you as angry as it made me, smash that like button to let Triple H know that the fans are not on his side. Share this video everywhere. Tweet it, post it, send it to every wrestling fan you know because this story needs to be talked about. And if you're not already subscribed to WrestleScope, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because you know we're going to be covering every single update on this situation as it develops. This story is far from over. Until next time, this has been WrestleScope. And remember, in wrestling, the only thing that should matter is what happens in that ring. Not backstage politics, not egos, just pure competition. Stay tuned, stay angry, and I'll see you in the next one.